Hey everybody, it is Thursday night. I'm Josh Olive with Haven Comics. Time for some shop talk. I'm getting Michael Jackson in my ears. Like, oh, that was high pitched. Uh, anyway, great to see you guys. Stick around for a few minutes because we're going to have an awesome show tonight. Once again, want to thank Nick Ellis, formerly of Two Brothers Comics, for that awesome intro video there. I got a question for you, Alan, as I'm bringing you on. When Two Brothers dissolves, are they still brothers?
They are still brothers. And look, you know what? I'm going to give y'all a breaking news segment because I never get to use this one sound effect and I want to use it.
Okay.
So I have it on good authority that there is a Lost Two Brothers video that no one has seen yet. Technically, it's not lost because we know exactly where the video is at. It's just having issues getting uploaded. So, but I'm calling it
a very funny story, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I'm calling it the Lost episode, and hopefully, if they can't get it posted to the Two Brothers channel, maybe we can get y'all a Two Brothers video over here.
That would be pretty spectacular, not gonna lie. All right, we have a guest on tonight, and this is somebody we've talked to a couple times before, but it is awesome every single time we get the chance. And we're particularly excited now because he's got two projects that we want to talk about. One of which you can sign up for right now. The other one which you can sign up for too, but you have to go someplace else a little bit to do it. So we're going to bring on my very favorite. It's the only one that I know of in existence, by the way. But my very favorite comic book creator, writer, publisher, and male model, the one, the only Mr. Joe Pruett. What's happening, sir?
Hey guys, how you doing?
Doing good.
Did you ever get credit as being one of the Supermen?
No, I didn't even know I was on the covers of Action Comics as the model for Adam Hughes until years after it was published. I remember posing for it just in passing at Gaijin Studios when I was there with him. And I walked by one day, hey, Joe, hey, can you do this? And I sit in a pose and did this and walked away. He took a picture. I never thought twice of it because other guys would always have me pose for, can you do your hand like this? Can you do that? It's Cully Hamner and Brian Stelfreeze and some other guys. So I would do that all the time, not think twice of it until years later when another creator sent me a copy of the Action Comics number 900.
It was 900, yeah.
Adam Hughes variant. And that was me, Superman, breaking the chains, doing this. And I was like, huh, never knew it.
Well, next time they do a Superman movie premiere or something and they invite all the former Supermen, I think you should send them a very politely worded letter that says, guys, you're forgetting me.
Yeah, they forgot about me on purpose. Don't worry.
No, I think that was a total oversight. But yeah, no, that's such an awesome story. It's just one of those things. We had Jeff Johnson on a couple weeks ago, and he was talking about how some of his friends show up in every comic book he does because he has pictures of them like bend over riding motorcycles or punching something, or he says in those poses you just tweak them and use them. But he goes, my friends show up in all my comics.
Yeah, I was going to be in another comic series or project that Tony Harris has used me as a model for the main character, and I posed several pages worth of poses for him. It never came out, but I had
that's unfortunate because I was dying to know what that was.
It's just a project we were hired to do together. I was actually writing it; he was drawing it for a publisher that will be unnamed right now. But it was fun. I got to be the writer and the model, so I can look back at it and there's me, but nobody else to see it but me and him.
Do you think that'll ever see the light of day, or is that?
No, it's dead. It'll never. It's not something we owned. So we were contracted to draw it, and then it died.
Okay,
so.
That's unfortunate. As the two of you would make a killer combo, I would love to see that.
We actually we're doing a short story together for Bad Idea coming up sometime soon.
Really?
Out, yeah. I have a few short stories I did for Bad Idea. John McCrae drew one, Tony's doing another, and Michael William Kaluta has been contracted to draw the third.
God, Mike Kaluta, what a guy.
Good guy. I've always wanted to work with him. So writing
Yeah.
the script was a lot of fun. I went and asked him if he wanted to do it, and then I drafted the story for him. So we'll see. Hopefully we'll see the lad day before too long.
Yeah, he's amazing. I was at a show in Atlanta years and years and years ago, and I was walking by, and there he was sitting at his table, and nobody was there. I mean, nobody. And I'm like, what is wrong with people? This is a freaking legend. So I stopped to talk to him for a while, and he ended up just like, come sit down over here. So I just came behind the table, pulled up a chair, and we sat there and talked for like 3 hours.
That's how I got to know him. I sat at his table and talked to him when I was Bob Burns' assistant.
Yeah, what a great guy. I asked him, I said, because you know how artists can sometimes be like, don't compare me to somebody else. That's weird, right? And I said, you and Charles Vess have got a lot of similarities in your style. I said, you know, do you guys know each other? Are you friends? He laughed. He said, we went to college together. We were roommates, and we took all the same art classes from the same art teachers. So, yeah, it would be weird if our stuff didn't have a lot of similarities. Yeah, that was pretty good. You went on mute or something. Or your mic turned off. I don't know. We were hearing you fine just a minute ago, but now you're gone. Can still see you.
And that beautiful grand piano.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, your mic has cut out.
I know what it was.
There you go.
Yeah, my iPhone was ringing and it defaulted to it.
Got it.
So my phone, I was talking to you on my phone. Didn't realize it. Okay. I plugged it in because it was getting weak, low in battery.
Sure.
That cut it off. Sorry.
No worries. You're a tech wizard. I never would have figured that out.
I used to work for Apple, so.
But
I am not a tech wizard. I was management. I was never a wizard at Apple. I was a manager of an Apple store, like 9 months, 10 months tops, and then I left that. My direct boss was kind of difficult to work for.
Man, I think we've all had one of those at one point or another, and nothing makes you more grateful for either working for yourself or for a good boss.
Myself, I went to work for myself. Boss. That's when I was doing Desperate Publishing. So I said, I'm going full time doing this.
Yeah, that's rough. So, what do you want to talk about first? Do you want to talk about Viking Moon, or do we want to talk about the Book of Jusko? Which one sounds? Where do you want to start?
Viking Moon first. That's what you reached out to talk to me about, and so it's a new series. It's a 5-issue series that I'm doing an Image with Marcelo Fruzen, an Argentina artist. I've worked with once back in Vertigo days on Weird Western Tales. So that would have been 99, 2000 maybe. And I've always wanted to work with them since. I never have had a chance. And then we started talking not too long ago about working together. I had this idea for this Viking versus werewolf story I've been wanting to do for several years. He loved the idea of it. And then so we started creating magic. Hopefully you'll think it's magic.
I like what I've seen so far. I very much like what I have seen so far.
Well, I'll send you a PDF of the whole first issue if you want to see it.
Heck yes. Vikings and werewolves. I mean, you had me right from the jump. And then when you pile this art is exquisite. I mean, look at this ship. I mean, look at that.
Oh, that is cool.
I mean, just look at that. And then here, these guys in here with the skulls and all. Oh my God. I mean, dude is freaking amazing.
Yeah, I'll drop a few more pages on my Facebook page the next couple of days. Wet the whistle, I guess you can say.
Well, I know what you bring to the table, and I see what he's bringing to the table, and the concept is already a winner. That's a can't fail book to me.
Well, good. I hope everybody else thinks that way too. Because it's a book, I'm very proud of it. And Josh, I'll let you know, I just dropped the PDF in your Facebook Messenger.
I can't wait to read that.
And
I'm so excited.
well, it's fun. It's great. I don't do this much anymore, but we're working like a Marvel style. Well, I do the plot, and I break down the panels, the pages by panels. That I dialogue it after the art.
Yeah.
And then I basically like do 4 panels a page. And I always say, if you want to add a panel or two, feel free. Do what you want to do. Just don't take any panels away without asking me first, because I've pasted a certain way. But it's been great. It's been fun working with him. I get excited I just got a new page today from him. So every time a page comes in, I'm excited to see it. He's doing a fantastic job. I think some of his best stuff he's done in a long time. And we're already talking about doing a new series together after this. And I had the idea for it already. So
fantastic. Now, is he doing like all of the art, the
pen, ink, and colors? He's coloring it too.
That's incredible.
That's why it's taking a little bit longer than usual, because he's doing it all.
Sure.
Now, when you break down the panels and kind of the layout and everything, do you also turn in like a rough sketch of how you want stuff to look, or you just kind of let them go wild with it?
Yeah, I've never done that. I mean, I'll describe what's in the panel, but the artist, and Marcel is no different. A lot of the artists I work with too, I can give a description all I want to of it, but they're going to envision it the way they want to, and 9 times out of 10, their vision is better than mine, because they're the artist. I'm not. I think of it like a director would. Here's an image I want. Here's a whatever, but I don't dictate what they have to draw. So I might say sometimes, from behind, or a bird's eye view or something like that view. But at the end of the day, they're going to do it the way they want to do it, which is perfectly fine with me, because again, 9 times out of 10 is better.
And that's why one of the many reasons why comics is a collaborative medium, right?
Exactly. Especially when you get to a fight scene a lot of times. I remember when I was doing Domino with Brian Stelfreeze, I had such faith in Brian's ability to choreograph scenes like this. I would just say they fight for 2 pages. They end up here. Choreograph it how you want to, because that allows them. That way, the artist also contributes to it. It's like they can have fun. That's why I say have fun. That's why in the sentence, have fun. I don't do that very often. I'm that liberal with the descriptions and directions. But when you have a guy like Stelfreeze, or maybe a guy like Marcelo here, who knows a master of the craft, who am I to tell them differently?
It would take a certain personality type to walk in on Brian Stelfreeze and say, you're going to draw it this way because my way is the best way. I can just picture him looking at you, not saying a word, be like, sure.
Yeah. Well, I shared studio space with Brian for 7 or 8 years. So we have a very good relationship and a working relationship. I have to say, Brian's a great guy. That's what I'm going to say. He's a good guy, but he's also a guy. Brian, you're going to get that cover done to me? Brian, I can see you. I'm looking in your door. And I was like, oh, Joe, yeah, tonight. I'm going to do it tonight. You're not around.
That's
I'll come next morning. Brian, where's it? Yeah, about that. Tonight. So
that's funny. I have a friend who lives in Atlanta, and she's an artist. She's a phenomenal artist. And she was taking a figure drawing class just to keep different skills fresh and all that. No, but he was in the class.
Oh, he was? Okay.
He was taking the class too. He was right next to her.
Wow. That's
and she said, she messaged me. She said, I'm talking to this guy, and he's in the figure class with me. And I kind of talk, what do you do, that kind of stuff. And he said, well, he does comic books. It's like, do you know who this guy is? And she sends me his picture, and I'm like, oh my God. So Brian Stelfreeze is teaching this class, and she says, no, he's just taking the class with me. He's just the guy next to me. We're both doing this. And I was like, wow. I mean, you're following in the footsteps of a really good artist. He's keeping his skills fresh too, I guess.
That's interesting. I didn't know he did that.
Yeah, it was really cool. That was really great. But back to Viking Moon, which again I'm very excited about. I've got the base premise: Vikings, werewolves, right? But what's the bigger pitch there?
Yeah, basically, is history now will confess the Vikings were in the New World way before Columbus were, around 10,000, I think, BC, without looking at my notes. 1,000 BC, I'm sorry. And so they had a settlement on what's today Newfoundland in Canada.
Newfoundland, yeah.
And so anyway, so they weren't there for very long, and nobody really knows why they're only there for a couple of years, why they abandoned it. So my premise is, well, we know there was a native population there, the Scrawlings that they called them, the screaming ones, and they were vastly outnumbered. And it was tough winters, of course, like that too. But these are Vikings, so they're tough people. But we don't know why they really left after a couple of years. My premise is that not only were the Native Americans there pushing them out the door, but the Native American, a lot of the myths from Native Americans are the skinwalkers.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking that's werewolves. So why don't we just mix the skinwalker and the werewolf mytho, and that basically they were kind of like protectors of the Native American population there, and they're the real reason that the Vikings turned tail and ran, because not only were they outnumbered by the Native Americans, they had the supernatural element that pushed them out the door too. So I thought it'd be just good. Hey, where was Vikings fighting and dying together? Yeah,
I love it. I can't pronounce that settlement to save my life.
Oh, I couldn't either. Don't even ask.
It's like a crazy long term, but it's kind of like a Viking Roanoke kind of thing, right?
Right, exactly.
Like they were here. We know they were here for a while, and then gone.
And we
don't know how. We don't know why. They're gone. So yeah, I love that. I like the mystery of that. And it's such a natural idea too, because you have this whole kind of Beowulf and Grendel kind of thing there too. So you can play on that. It's because of all the old sagas, and you have those early English myths and stuff. And it's a winning concept to me, man. I am so excited for it. I know the writing's going to be good. The art is awesome.
It's awesome art. I hope I don't let you down.
So. It's zero chance of that. I'm already hooked. I am curious. Do you know if he works? And this is totally self-serving, by the way. Do you know if he works like traditional or if he's like a computer guy?
That's a good question. I don't know today how he works. I obviously I know he worked traditional at one point. I'll ask him because I would love to have art from it.
I do too. I would also like to have art from this. That's why I'm asking.
I've been trying to get some art from the original short story we did together for Where Western Tells, and I know there's a dealer that has some pages from it, and I just haven't gotten them to respond to me a couple of times. I've reached out to them. So then Marcelo said he's going to look for those pages at one point and said he couldn't find them. So I don't know if they exist anymore or not. They might already be gone, but I would love to have some pages myself from that and from this. Especially I'd love to have a cover because his covers are coming in very, very strong, very nice.
Okay, so
it's very strong, but either of the pages I've seen, just the one of the ship or the one with the skulls laying on there, I would love to have either one of those on the wall at my shop.
I'll ask him.
Those are exquisite.
Well, I got curious and I had to look it up. And if I'm thinking about the place y'all are talking about, believe it or not, the actual pronunciation of it is Lonshu Meadows.
Yeah, something like that.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it literally says that the easiest way to say it is say the word lawn and then just add a "su" to the end of it.
Good to know.
It's the very northern tip of the western half of Newfoundland, way at the top. I was in St. John's, Newfoundland, which is way down at the bottom and to the right on the east side. And I had high hopes of being able to get out there, but on the limited time we had in Newfoundland, I couldn't get up there at all. You want to know about your piano?
Actually, I do play, and I took about 6 or 7 years as a kid. I actually played in a wedding one time back when I was young, so I was actually okay. And I restarted playing, 20 years ago, something like that. Because I have a piano. And actually, I'd say I got pretty good. But when I started having my strokes, I've had two and a half strokes. I thought I was having another one Saturday, but it just ended up being low on magnesium. That's a funny story. I'll tell you about it. But I can't play like I used to. My eyes can't fall. I don't know. I just can't do it as good. I just actually started playing again last week to try it out. I'm pretty crappy right now, but hopefully I can get back to where I was at one point. My second daughter, I have 6 kids. She started taking piano, and within 2 years, she was playing state competitions in Georgia. And I remember she was at University of Georgia doing some competition, and you can't go in. I wasn't there; my wife was. You can't go into the performance while they perform. And so some other parent was like, "Oh, well, how long has she been playing?" They go, "About 2 years." She goes, "Nobody plays like that after 2 years. Plays that song after 2 years." My daughter is just amazing. So I quit playing around her for several years. Because
right. That's a lot of pressure.
It is a lot of pressure. It's like once your kids surpass you, you don't want to do what they're doing anymore. It's like my daughter can play a piano better than me. I'm not going to play around her.
Yeah, that's when you pick up the oboe or something, right?
Exactly right.
Try playing this.
And my youngest daughter,
my own.
My youngest daughter Lydia, you haven't met her, but she's 22 now, a student at Kennesaw State University here locally, and is an art major, and she is phenomenal. I mean, she just got her first comic book commission coming out, before the end of the year, probably.
Fantastic.
A little odd, and it's actually amazing. I'll send you a photo of it. And she has so much talent. Again, so I used to think I was an artist. I don't even try anymore. I quit trying when I broke into comics. I was going to be an artist. Then the first people I met, in no particular order, Dave Sim, Brian Bolin, Bernie Wrightson, Al Williamson, the Hampton brothers, Dave Stevens.
Rude. That's just rude.
I'm like, okay, great meeting all these people I admire and love and everything, but I'm never going to be like them. And so I quit being an artist. That's when I became a writer, then an editor, then publisher, and everything else. Because I gave up on art really quick because I didn't have the discipline to do it. I know that you have to have that discipline every day. And I was okay, but I was never going to be good enough. But I realized that, and so I pivoted. That's the problem with a lot of people. They don't realize, and I don't mean this mean or anything, but they don't realize they're not going to be what they want to be or to make it. And they'll still try. And, hey, more power to them. I've seen a few artists who I didn't think had a chance who proved me wrong. And I would never say you didn't have a chance. I would never be cruel like that. But in my mind, I say, you'll be this level. I'll give you a good example. Okay. Mike Perkins, when I first started working with him at Caliber, and Mike was good, but he wasn't great. What I saw Mike, because he did Kilroy is Here for me for a few issues. He did stuff, yep. Negative Burn, other stuff. And I loved working with Mike. He's a great guy. And matter of fact, when I got into Marvel, I tried to get him on as an inker, one of my a Wolverine story I was doing. Because he was working as an inker for Rick Leonardi and then Butch Guice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so he was an artist, but he was more at that point established as a good inker.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, when he went to CrossGen, boom, he became fantastic.
Yep.
And
you can see the impact that Butch Guice had on him.
Well, I mean, Tony Harris. I'll give you Tony Harris when his first published work. No offense, Tony, I love you. We're pretty mediocre. And he knows that. Okay, I'm not kidding. He knows that, but it was mediocre. But when guys in studios formed, when Tony and Jason Pearson and Adam Hughes and Selfreeze and Cully Hamner and them all got together, they all made themselves better. Being that little studio environment. Same thing across the studio environment.
Yep.
So Tony is a phenomenal artist now. He wasn't when he started. Same thing. A French artist working with Philippe Xavier. It looks like Professor Xavier, but it's not that way. Philippe, he did some work with Nick Caliber. I gave him his first work in Negative Burn number 22, I remember. And then did a book called Legend Lore Caliber for several years. And he was always okay, But when he moved out to France, and now he's a big star in France, and he's phenomenal. And he and I are doing a book together. Now it's my first French album I'm doing just for the French publisher. I've never done something for the French publisher market. So we're doing a book that comes out next September we'll keep the U.S. I'm keeping the U.S. rights for it, so I can bring it over the comic series. That's how we're planning it. It's like 5 issue comic series probably.
Nice.
And so I'll bring it to one of the two publishers I'm working with now probably. But it's going to be there first in the French album format, which I'm pretty excited about. Viking Moon's already been picked up for French publishing too with Delcourt. The other one's going to be with Lombard over in France. And so my hope is that by going into the book market in France like that, they'll bring me over for a tour. So
that'd be great.
Europe again. And I did a free trip. I had a free trip to Europe. I went with my French publisher who was doing Black Eyed Kids. They brought me over from Paris Comic Con and they took me on a train around Europe for a little bit. I want to do that again on somebody else's dime.
That would be ideal. Yeah. Yeah. You mentioned Cully Hamner. Cully's from Huntsville here where we are.
That's right. Yeah, he is.
He doesn't come back this way very often, but the last time he was here, he stopped in at the shop. I wasn't there, but my manager, when Cully walks in, my manager's looking at him. He's like, "You're Cully Hamner." Oh. and he goes, like, he looks surprised, like, "How do you know me?" And he's like, "We got your latest comics right here. We always order them for the."
They're in the dollar bin.
They had just come out, but they're in the dollar bin now. But they had just come out. But yeah, so we support our local creators.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot Cully. Yeah, Cully's a good guy.
Yeah.
One of my longtime friends in the business.
Yeah. I mean, you mentioned some killer names there. Just to touch briefly on something, because I know this was a shock, I'm sure, to you. It was a shock to all of us. But you were working on a project with Butch Guice.
Right.
When we so tragically and ridiculously lost Butch Guice. This year has been brutal for some amazing comic books creators.
Time. It was a total surprise. Butch, we were doing Stay Out of the Woods. Stay Out of the Woods. A little 40-page one shot. He only got 13 pages into it, unfortunately, because he started having before he started having problems.
Dad was having problems.
So Butch started working on the book, I would say last July, around and he gradually got into it because he had stuff he had to get out of the way. So it wasn't a big rush or anything like that. And then around November, when did the North Carolina have all the big floods? So North Carolina had big floods like in the West, North Carolina and Eastern Tennessee.
When the hurricane came through. Yeah.
Yeah. And so both his elderly parents, who were, different locations, but in the same area, they didn't get in touch with him and his brother for like a week. They couldn't get in touch with him, so they didn't know if they were dead or alive. And so that happened. And then when they finally got in touch, within the month, his dad got diagnosed with like really aggressive cancer. And then within the month of that, he had passed away.
Yeah.
So this happened like November to December, maybe into January. I'm sure I can't remember the time frame. And then, like almost immediately, Butch got sick.
Yep.
And he kind of joked about it a little bit. Oh, my wife, probably saved my life, et cetera, et cetera. And then he got pneumonia, and they got hospitalized. And he was hospitalized for 6 weeks, perhaps. And I would reach out to him. We would talk like once a week. And I said, just don't worry about the book. Worry about getting better. That's number one priority here, because some things are more important than comics, right?
Yep. My
book's going to be out. We'll get it done when we get it done, right? And so I would talk to him. Then, so the last few weeks, I just was talking to his wife. And I realized at one point I hadn't heard from him like a couple of weeks. So I sent a note to his wife, to Butch, but to his wife, and say, hey, I hadn't heard from you in a couple of weeks, so I'm assuming you're back home, you're doing better now, et cetera, et cetera. And then I get a call or email from Chris Ryle, a buddy of mine, used to be the editor-in-chief publisher at IDW. And he goes, I'm so sorry to hear about Butch. I'm like, what are you talking about? And he had died. So the day I sent the last message to him, I didn't know he had already passed.
Oh, wow.
And so that's how I found out he had passed. And then his wife, a few days later, actually probably a few weeks later, got back to me. I'm sure it was a lot. It was his dad. It was him. I can't imagine what his family had been going through.
Yeah.
time. And so it was, I think Butch was honestly doing the best work he's ever done on this book. And I'm so disappointed it hasn't come out. My goal is to finish it.
Okay.
And because I want the world and his fans to see his last work.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Mike Perkins would probably be a great choice of guy to finish that.
I've talked to Mike about it. Mike's like one of the most demand artists in comics right now, so he's busy for like the next 2 years. I had him do a book with Garth over at Ninth Circle, Afraid the Fix. So it was great work with Mike to get on that one. But yeah, I can't get him to finish it. And I've talked to one or two people. I might have one or two people I could do it. But Ninth Circle, my company, they're kind of like, we're in a wait and see right now on it. So if it doesn't go through Ninth Circle, eventually it'll come back to me and I'll finish it off with somebody. Because again, I do want the world to see Butch's last work.
I certainly want to see it. It looked like it was an amazing concept and an amazing book anyway, but
I'm very proud of it.
I'm a big fan of Butch Guice, and that one was a gut punch.
Yeah, we were just clicking on it, that book so well. And again, it was like it was just all of a sudden I was like, oh wow, I didn't expect that,
Yeah, you mentioned Freddy the Fix. Man, that book was all kinds of bizarre. There was so much going on in that book. Like, you had to pay attention to every panel to see what was happening. Yeah,
there's a lot going on. Yeah, there's been a lot of interest in that in Hollywood too, but that's Hollywood. There's always a lot of interest. It's not real until it is. We've talked about maybe doing a second volume of it. If we can work, Garth's interested in doing it. We can work around Mike's schedule. Mike said he would make time for it. If it can, because he loved working on it too. Loved working with Garth.
Well, he could draw whatever he wanted in that book. I mean, he had all kinds of like, if you can imagine it, you can draw it. You want a mermaid coming up out of the toilet? Go ahead. Whatever you want to do, man. You can do anything in here.
You don't know what to expect from Garth, so expect the unexpected.
No, Garth Ennis is always a surprise. That's for sure. I do find it interesting, the difference between Garth Ennis writing war books, war stories, and Garth Ennis writing anything else. It's like two different people.
Well, I think it's two different hats for him. He loves the war stories are honestly his first love. He loves doing those. And so when I was at Aftershock, of course, I had him do a few different ones there. And I remember we did Lion the Eagle, and you complained about the format. And
such a good book, though. It was such a good book, though.
Yeah, it is. And we did that with Freddy the Fix, the same format. Garth loves that format, and the artists love the format.
Yeah, they all do.
It has to be the right title to be in that format. But the art just looks better, and whatever. But it doesn't sell as well.
It doesn't.
But we are happy with the results as far as the production of it.
Oh, for sure. It was a beautiful book. Yeah. Exquisite book.
So, but yeah, Garth loves his World War II books, stories. And I've talked to him about doing another one with him elsewhere. He's got, I think, 160-page script he wants to do. So we'll get to that at some point. Maybe I'll talk to him about it again soon, because we last talked about it around June. So we'll see what happens there. And his other stuff, of course, it's just him being, it wants to cause an effect. He wants to get a reaction from you. That's how he writes, and he's successful with that.
He's quite good at that. Mm-hmm. So talking about the length of some of these series, is Viking Moon a one shot? Is it 5 issues? 10?
5 issues. It's a 5 issue. Okay. Yeah, I think 5 issues is plenty to tell the story. I don't know if there's a sequel in the works there, but hey, I'm not going to say no to anything. If it does, great. Hey, maybe there is a sequel story there. But I think we can do we can do a beginning, middle, and end pretty easily and pretty tightly, and be happy with it. But if demand calls for it, I'm sure we can think of something else to add to it.
Well, I'm very, very excited for Viking Moon. And everybody, if you're thinking, well, gee, I didn't sign up for that, it is not too late. Final order cutoff is not until this weekend. Mm-hmm. So you've got the next couple of days to say, hey, man, hit me on Facebook, hit me on email, call me, text, whatever. Just
money back guarantee at Josh's store.
That's right. That's right. But yeah, sign up for this book. It's 5 issues of pure awesomeness. You've seen some of the art. You've heard the story. The story sounds amazing. Um, and I mean, what more do you want than Vikings and werewolves? And Vikings and werewolves meets Roanoke. Man, I'm all for it. That's just what a great idea.
Yeah, and Josh, I'll go ahead and tell you. So, hey, you get your customers to buy this issue. I'll come up to the store one day and do a quick little signing and sign every copy that you sell, or that they can bring it in or have at your store, whichever you want to do.
Oh, it'd be amazing.
3.5 hour drive for me.
Well, and you've got family to visit here in town too, if I recall correctly.
You said, do I have family in the town? What?
I say you do, if I remember right.
Oh, my daughter lived there, but she moved actually 15 minutes from me now.
Oh, well, that worked out well for you.
So, she actually came to the store the one time I came to the store and did a signing.
Yeah.
And I remember she stood in line. I didn't remember because we had masks on at the time.
Yeah.
And I didn't even recognize her in line. I just thought, who's this young girl in line to visit me? And she's like, Dad.
That's not our usual demographic. Oh my God.
I see how Lois Lane can't recognize Clark Kent now, Superman.
You should know.
Yeah. Okay.
Being Superman. Yeah, I just saw that. Kane, yes, brother. It's an easy thing to do, man. Sign up for Viking Moon. We'll set you up a box. We'll get you started. We'll take care of you.
Great, thank you.
Kane's actually got a really good idea. He's wanting to do, and I don't think I've told you about this yet, Alan, but he's looking at doing a graphic novel reading club kind of a thing, like a once a month thing up at the shop.
Yeah,
we talked about it at FarleyCon.
Yeah, y'all talked about it at FarleyCon.
Yeah, it's a great idea. He even sent me a list of the initial ones he would like to do. Oh, it's a great list.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, I think that would be an awesome thing to do. Everybody pick this up, read this book, and let's come in and talk about it. That's a phenomenal idea. I really, really love it. We can make Viking Moon one of those. When it's finished up and comes out in trade, we can make everybody buy it both ways.
Yeah, I think trade will be out in, I want to say April. Yeah.
Fantastic. So, in addition to Viking Moon, which I'm extremely excited about, you've also got another project, which, in all honesty, that's like an embarrassment of riches, man. What are you doing? It is the Book of Jusko. Joe Jusko. Every last one of us of a certain age had those Marvel Masterworks cards. We had the Tarzan cards. We had all that stuff. I still have all that stuff because it was freaking amazing. It was like Boris Vallejo met Alex Ross and did comic books, and it was a beautiful, beautiful thing. And so now you are doing the Book of Jusko, and this is on Kickstarter.
This is on Kickstarter right now. We're on day.
And it funded in what, 7.5 hours or something ridiculous like that?
Yeah, I think we're over 400% funded right now after 3 days. Of course, we want to go a lot higher than where we are now because we all need to make money and pay bills and feed the kids.
Yep.
So, but yeah, so I've done in a past life when I was doing Desperado Publishing, I produced 10 art books. It was Brian Ballin, P. Craig Russell, Timothy Bradstreet, Joe Jusko.
Is that how he pronounces it? I've never actually heard him say it.
It's funny. I was on the phone with him last week, and I've said it Jusko and Jusko all my life. Didn't know which one was right. I'll say it in the same conversation two different ways. And one time he corrected me. He goes, Joe, how long have we known each other? I was like, I just don't remember because people say it different ways and it confuses me. So he corrected me back then. And I totally didn't remember how he corrected me.
Oh, no.
And so last week I'm on the phone with him, knew I was going to have to start doing videos and talking about him. I said, Joe, how do you pronounce your last name? I said, look, I'm embarrassed to ask you this. And he goes, and he told me, okay. And then I hung up. Okay, great. I got it now. I won't ever forget. So I had this conversation, hung up the phone. 2 minutes later, I call him back. He goes, yeah, what else? What is it? I go, how you pronounce it again? I've already forgotten.
Make a recording.
I was up, and he goes, here's how you should remember. When I was a kid, you know how kids were mean to each other. He goes, so when I was a little kid, people would just tell me, Joe, just go. Just go. You know, it's just go. That's his name. Just
That's
go.
kind of hilarious.
Oh, he says, just go. Just remember, just go. Just go. Go away.
Okay, that's how I've always pronounced it. So I feel validated, which is good because I meet guys occasionally and I'm like, I've been saying your name wrong for 40 years.
I know.
And I feel like a schmuck.
Well, try Bill Sienkiewicz. I can only tell you how I pronounced his name as a kid. But anyway, so I did Bolin, Russell, Bradstreet, Jusko, Dave Dorman, Jim Starlin, Jeffrey Jones, George Perez, and Amanda Connor. Okay.
So a bunch of slackers. Got it.
Yeah. So Bolin won the Eisner. My first book won the Eisner. Craig Russell was nominated. So my second book got nominated, and then nothing since. But anyway, so they all did really well for me. And eventually, at the end of Desperado, lasted 5 years. I was just doing the art books. That's the only thing that was really making money. And so when I've gone freelance again, and writing is my first love. Writing is a career like this. It's a roller coaster.
Yep.
So, again, I just said pay bills, pay for my kids. I have a daughter in college. I gotta make sure I can pay for it. So writing is not a steady. I do writing because I love it. Make money, great. Love it, more important. So I need that other income. So that's why the art. I started seeing all these art books online on Kickstarters, making obscene amount of money. I'm not saying I'm a mercenary because I'm not, but all I want to do is be happy have fun doing what I'm doing, work with my friends, and pay my bills. Okay, I don't have to be rich. I never had. But so if I can find an outlet that would let me do that, and I thought the art books, man, look at that. Why wasn't Kickstarter here when I was doing these books that's raw with Image and IDW and stuff, where we all made money? We didn't make a lot of money. We just made money. Okay, a little bit here and a little bit there. And so I'm like, well, let's give it a try. And we're doing phenomenally well with Joe's book after 3 days. And I don't want to forget retail. I'm always a huge retail supporter. You know that.
I do know that very much so.
One of the first things I did is I toured the country for 5 months every week.
Yeah.
So I hit 80 stores in 5 months touring the country.
That's a lot of stores.
Yeah, I did. I would go to. I went to Boston and did 10 stores in 5 days. I would do lunch, dinner, lunch, dinner, lunch, dinner, lunch, dinner. And I was in Boston. I was in New Hampshire. I was in Rhode Island. I was whatever. I know Paul Jenkins went with me that way. And I picked up on the airport, and he has to drive a car. He has a broken neck. No, he suffered at one point. So he gets vertigo if he's not driving. So he had to drive a rental car. And within 20 minutes, we got wrecked it. So I was like,
he didn't tell us that story when he came on here.
But it wasn't his fault. Okay. We got rear-ended.
At least it wasn't his fault. Yeah.
And then so we got out of the car and to talk to the driver. And as soon as we got in the car, the driver took off. And Paul getting like he's a race car driving, chasing after him. And that guy's doing this. And this is heavy traffic. And just weaves across all these lines like, Paul. And we're like, we got to let him go. Okay. We're not going to get killed for this. And so we got to let him go. But that was a great story. And then, of course, he also had his his credit cards compromised or something like that. We were at a hotel and somebody had compromised his Credit Karma app off his phone. He was sitting and watching the phone, and so it sort of opened up and started like this. So that was another thing we're doing. So it was a eventful 5 days.
Yeah, no doubt. That sounds miserable.
But anyway, going back to retailers. So there's a very small retailer tier I have on the Kickstarter. I see people doing Kickstarter art books, for instance. Here's your retail tier for 10 copies. I'm like, no retailer's going to buy 10 copies.
That is hard for a retailer. I will
get one or two copies, sell one, buy one, sell one, buy one. I know how this works. I've done these artbooks for years. Anything that's high end like that, that's how you don't invest up a bunch up front. So I said, let's just do 2 books. That's a small investment for a retailer, hopefully. So it's a 2-tier.
That's very reasonable.
Yeah, and surprising, I've already done a lot more retail signing on to that than I expected.
Because that's reasonable. I'll tell you, that's 100% why.
So I'm thanking them because, unfortunately, I had originally planned on doing a variant cover for Diamond to go to the book market and come at the same time.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's not going to happen.
Nope.
Not with Diamond now. I had a great relationship in Diamond before now I don't know what the hell they're doing now. All I know is that they're stealing our inventory that we had there in consignment and selling it and paying the debts off, which really pisses me off.
Yep,
they don't own that.
I don't know how this is illegal. And a whole lot of other publishers. It's criminal. It's criminal.
The stuff I had there is very minor compared to, say, a Dynamite or an Image, even, or whoever. Millions, or Aftershock, for instance, millions of dollars in inventory there that they're taking. And the courts so far, and they're fighting it right, so far seem to want to probably let them do it unless they can stop them. So we'll see. Anyway, so I'm not doing the retail through Diamond anymore. So I try to do something small through the Kickstarter.
Hey, John.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
No, you ramble all you want.
Yeah, your stories are endlessly fascinating. You have you love comics, you love the medium, you love storytelling. And you've been doing it for a long time, and you know from the publishing side of the house, you know from the creative side of the house, and you know as a fan. And none of that has made you a jaded guy who just like, nothing's good anymore. Nobody does anything. You're not that guy. You're like, there's still so much good here. And here's what I'm doing to add to that. And you are an exemplar to other people. I wish there were more folks like you.
I appreciate it. I just, again, it goes back to, I want to have fun. I want to publish stuff I would want. Okay. I want to work with my friends, like say Joe Jusko, and say, hey, I want to do something with you. We can have fun together and make some money, hopefully, and be happy with what we're doing. You know, the first Jusko book I did, or Joe Jusko, no, it went to 2 printings. I did a printing at Desperado solo, and then I did a printing with IDW, and we sold out of both printings on that one. Jim Starlin, I did a printing with Desperado / IDW. I did a reprint version at Aftershock, correcting a couple of typos from the first one I caught after the fact. And so I'm going to do a new book with Jim as well after this one.
Fantastic.
So I'm going to go back, and I'm not saying I'm just going to do the same people again, but Jusko, Starlin, maybe 1 or 2 others here. But those are guys like that, those 2, for instance, is like, I did books with them like in 2008, 2009 or 10. I can't remember when the Starlin one came out. It's been 15, 17 years, and they've kept working.
Mm-hmm.
So there's so much more to do. And the new book with Joe, I went through today, and it was going to be like around 232 pages or so. We just added more in today that we haven't announced on the Kickstarter yet, because we found more stuff. And like, let's put this in, let's take that out, let's put this in, let's expand that, So I've already laid the whole book out. I'm going to add a little bit more to my layout now. So when the Kickstarter is over with, it goes to press. There's no way.
That's always good instead of waiting forever. So
I've started on the
as the guy pulling this together, as the curator of all this, how do you choose which images to put into it and which ones to keep out? Are there any restrictions? Because Marvel has the rights to this or whatever?
Yeah, there's, for copyrighted material, there's a fair use law. You can use X amount of copyrighted material in a book like this, which is a retrospective of a career. I can't go say, hey, I'm going to go do a book on all of Joe's Tarzan works or Joe's Marvel Mask Works work. I can't do that without a license. But with a career retrospective like this, you can do X amount of pages. Can be Marvel. X amount could be DC. X amount could be, Tarzan or whatever it happens to be. The copyright. No, like for instance, we have Red Sonja piece, which is probably is a freaking stunning piece for our cover image. Yeah, it's Joe's wife's favorite piece he's ever done. So I just went to Nick Barucci over at Dynamite, and we asked him if we could use it in the cover. If I went to Marvel, and I'm not going to talk bad about Marvel, if you're listening, Marvel, but if I went to Marvel,
trust me, they're not
a really large licensing fee, and but Nick just says, yeah, go ahead and just send me, give me some copies of the book or something. And because I've known Nick for years, and Joe's really tight with Nick. So we really appreciative of Nick letting us do that, because I didn't want to, that image on the cover is just, it makes it for me.
That's a stunning picture. Yeah.
There's other great images, don't worry, I could have used, but that's what I wanted. And so
this right here.
Yeah, that one right there. So inside, we have to make sure I don't have too much Marvel. I don't have too much DC. So I have to make sure I have to go through and count. Okay, how much do I have? Okay, I can put 2 more pieces in a Marvel. Okay, I can do this for that. So I have to be aware of that as I go, because I don't want Disney to come, or whoever's to come after me and try to seize the TIS or something.
Now, once you go through that and you put it together, do you have to submit it to like Marvel or DC for them to verify it? Or
no, I mean, I do know at one point with the Brian Ballin book, Image said we should run it by DC, because Brian Ballin, he had a lot of DC work. And so we sent it to Paul Levis at DC, and Paul called me up and said, okay, take out this many Wonder Woman images, take out this many Batman pieces, and we're good to go. So that was my first book, though, so it was still a learning curve for me. And he set me on the right path to what I can and can't do. And of course, I look at the fair use law and see what I can do. But it's the thing, as you mentioned, Josh. I've always in this industry done something, and I'm moving around. I have that personality where I can't do one thing. I mean, if I could be a writer full time, I would do that. But as we discussed, that's really not a steady thing to do. So when I want to be an artist breaking in, right? I'm not going to be an artist. Okay, I'll be a writer. Waiting for my artist to draw my first book, flaking out on me. Okay, I'll be an editor. And I started Negative Burn and started doing that. And then I worked at Caliber. I ended up being the talent scout. And then I was like, oh, they got hired to be the creative director at Caliber, where I brought talent and edited a lot of books and stuff like that. Then I left Caliber and was like, oh, I'm writing X-Men comics. I don't know how the hell that happened, but it did. And then I left Marvel, and it's like, I want to do stuff like I did at Caliber again with my friends. So I started Desperado Publishing. And so it became a publisher. And I purposely, and through I did a little bit of writing, I purposely try not to write on Desperado. I didn't want to be a vanity press. I regret that now. I said, why wouldn't I want to write my own stuff, right? On my own company. But then when that kind of faded, I want to do the art books. At one point before Desperado, I remember as a kid liking all these fantastic prints that people will have. And so I contacted, and at the time I had lined up Brian Ballin, Frank Cho, Travis Charay, Barry Windsor-Smith, might have been Adam Hughes, at least one more big superstar. I can't remember who it was off the top of my head, to do original high quality prints.
Once again, a bunch of slackers. Wow.
Yeah. Well, I'm not stupid either. I was like, if I'm going to do something, investing money, it's going to be people I can sell with. It never happened. I mean, Frank started on his. I know Brian had a really, got really into it, but it just kind of faded away. And so that didn't happen. Then Desperado Publishing started. So I started doing that. And then when that faded away, and then I started doing the art books. Again, something different. I've always liked high-end art books. So when I started doing the art books, and then I hired designers to do it for me to start with the Brian Ballin book. A couple guys who basically kind of, let's just say I won't slacked off and never got anything done. I guess I will say it. Okay. So I said, fine, I'll just do it myself. I went to the designer. So I just learned how to do it. And the first one into it, when the Eisner, it's by far not my best work because I was just starting out. But as we went on, I think the Craig Russell book, my second book, was technically so much better in design than the Brian book was, and so on and so on. I think we got better. It got better as time goes on. So I enjoyed doing that. Then to get to a point where I didn't enjoy doing it anymore. It still made money, and that point, shortly after that point, that's when Aftershock came around, and so I spent 9 years of my life building up Aftershock with the people there, and being one of the founders until that, went south. I'll just say it went south, and I left there, and I said, okay, what am I gonna do now? Go back to writing. I'm gonna go back to art books again. So I keep changing as I go, but always staying in the industry because again, I want to do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
So if I can do writing, if I can do designing, if I can, do a little bit of publishing, I don't really want to be a publisher right now or anything, aside from the Kickstarter stuff. But when stuff gets to you, it's in my blood. Anthologies are in my blood. Will I do Negative Burn again? Probably. No,
I was going to say anthologies are definitely in your blood.
Yeah, like last couple of years, Sue, I've talked about doing Negative Burn. I thought about doing Kickstarter on that. Actually, Boom even talked to me a month or two ago. Well, you want to do Negative Burn over here? I said, oh, maybe. And then we kind of decided that's not the right thing to do over there right now. And I'm doing some stuff with Boom. But maybe I'll come back to it. I don't know. Because again, it's once it's in your blood, you can't stop it.
Yeah, maybe. There's places like the guy who used to be Boom, and now he's got Ignition Press.
Yeah.
And there's places where I think Negative Burn would fit very well.
Yeah.
But then there's also that. Do you want to just do it on your own, right?
Well, I talked to Image at one point, and they seemed interested. And then we talked about it a little bit later, and it's like, yeah, maybe not. Like I said, then Boom asked me, and then it kind of faded away. And then I talked about doing Kickstarter. But here's the thing with anthologies, and again, I do have to be a little mercenary too, is that I love doing them. I don't make anything from them, and they're a lot of work.
They are a lot of work.
Yeah. So if I was to do, let's say, a Kickstarter or do it, if I did an Image, for instance, or a Kickstarter, I'm not going to make much money. Maybe I'll say, okay, I'll make the first X amount of money for me for editorial fee, maybe, but I have to make sure the creators get paid.
Mm-hmm.
And both those things are back end deals, Kickstarter and Image. So it's not like the old days when I was doing Caliber Negative Burn, where I had so many people willing to work up front for no pay.
Yeah,
it's a different beast nowadays. I totally understand that. It's hard for me to work. The book I'm doing an Image, and all the stuff I do Image right now is back end. I'm not getting paid, and I may not get paid. Depends how they sell. That's why Viking Moon needs to sell a lot of copies for me so I can get paid. I wrote that last July. If I make money from it, I won't sit into this coming November. So that's 15, 16 months without getting paid.
That's a long time to wait on a paycheck to come in from a
Yeah,
job.
it is. And so, but I love doing it. I love the book. So I don't mind doing it. I'm making sure my artists get money. But that doesn't help me to pay my bills and and keep my wife happy.
Which, as we all know, is the most important thing.
Or pay for my daughter's college, But,
if you guys didn't hear this, sign up for Viking Moon.
Yeah.
Look at this. It's Vikings. It's werewolves. You have a couple of days. I'm going to order extra copies for the wall.
Okay.
So you're covered from that regard, people. But Alan, what happens a lot of times to the books on the wall by the time you get there on Friday?
So generally, the books on the wall are looking kind of scarce by Friday afternoons.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they.
If it's something that Alan wants, it's already gone.
Is it called the rats in that?
Yeah. Honestly,
it
is because of rats. And let me tell you what those rats do. They hear me get excited about a book, and then they walk in and they're like, "Wait a minute, Alan was talking about that," and then they snatch it. But the rats never save me one.
That's because they're rats.
Yeah, I mean, I love our viewers, but I really don't like y'all.
This is true. It does happen on more than one occasion where Alan's like, "Man, I can't wait to read that." And Alan he normally doesn't come in on Wednesdays. He comes in on Fridays. So he'll come in and he'll be like, "All right, I know I didn't sign up for that book, but I'm going to grab this because I'm interested in this." And where'd it go? And there's just a blank spot on the wall where that book was. And
I know where it is. It's called the reorder. You can reorder it.
Not always. Sometimes you can. Sometimes
I've got Black Eyed Children signed by you, so I'm going to need a Viking Moon signed by you also.
Okay, I'll come to the store and sign up for you.
All right, y'all heard that? He's signing for me, not for y'all.
That's a long trip to come to sign one man's book.
Hey, but it's Alan.
Look,
money.
I'm special. My mama said so.
Yeah, she did.
She had you tested. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She put him on the bus and everything.
Yep.
Every day.
Oh, this bus is just like you, honey. It's short.
No, what got me though was I guess it was a couple of weeks ago I had emailed Josh And I sent him a link, and I was like, man, have you heard about this book? This sounds awesome. I've got to read it. And the response was, we talked about that book a month ago, right?
And I had already signed him up for it.
No, I don't remember that, but as long as I'm signed up for it, I don't care.
Yeah.
But yeah, I appreciate all that, and I'll be happy to come over. I do have a lot coming up really soon. Besides, I have Viking Moon next month, the Book of Jusko coming out on Kickstarter. You'll have copies if you get into it. Probably have copies. I would guess, depending on holiday schedule, end of November, beginning of December.
Yeah.
Holiday schedule could screw stuff up. I can't guarantee it, but it should be there for Christmas. And I have one shot coming up. I posted on my Facebook page. You saw the other day, Josh, a little first page image of a old character of mine that I'm bringing back at least for one shot. That'll be over an image as well.
That was such a good tease because I was like, it is.
Yeah, I'm trying to reinvent a character for a new audience while still keeping the original audience from 30 years ago interested.
Well, I thought the little story that you recently did a great job of that.
Well, that was the very first Kilroy story. I just said the name.
You did.
Also the very first comic story I ever wrote.
That's amazing.
So that was a reprint I put into Voices in My Head, which
was a great book, by the way.
Thank you. And if you need more copies, let me know, or reorder. And the Voice in My Head. So I put it in there because I knew I was going to do this one shot to try to see if a new audience could be found. So I teased the first story. I'm doing the one shot, and if there's an audience, we might do more. And I'd love to go back and do it as a series again. It was my first baby, so the first baby always means something special to you. And so I got that voice. Speaking of Voice in My Head, there's another series in there called Outside the Box short story I did there with Wando. We're working on that as an ongoing series, probably the first part of 2026. Probably from the same publisher, the Voices in My Head. I have.
Look what I got. Speaking of,
what's that?
I got this not too long ago. Alan and Big and Me.
Oh yeah, that's very nice.
That's some Wando work right there.
Wow, that's really. I haven't seen his pen ink stuff like that before. That's very nice. Oh, I like me some Wando.
Yeah, he had he had shown up and was doing some great stuff, and then he kind of disappeared for a bit.
Well, he lives in Tokyo. He lives in Japan. Yeah. But he's been doing a project that you haven't seen yet for the last year or so. But he's like, I don't know, 12, 14 issues into it, but it hasn't been solicited yet.
Oh, wow.
So we're doing our story together. It'll be a monthly, starting first quarter of 2026. I'm excited about that because the Outside the Box, I think it's a great concept that we're going to have a lot of fun with. And I've always wanted to work with Ron ever since he did American Monster with Azrael for us.
Yeah, that's a Wando on pencils with Don Hilsman II on inks.
Oh, Don, yeah.
Yeah.
Old friend.
Yeah, Don, when you started talking about doing Weird West stuff, I was just flashing back to Don Hilsman doing the Deadlands RPG art that he used to do.
Right.
For the Deadlands role-playing game, the Weird West.
Uh-huh.
And he was spectacular on that. If you ever need an artist for a Weird West book, he's your man.
Yeah, Don's. I haven't really seen Don in a long, long time. I used to, he was there when I was breaking in. We were all breaking in together.
Yeah.
One of the guys I always see all the time on the circuit. I think he might have even been local here with me for a while.
He's in Atlanta.
Oh, is he still here?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
yeah, he's still in Atlanta. He's still skateboarding, man.
Is he really?
I don't get that. I'm like, you hit a certain age and you start thinking something's gonna break if I fall, and he's still out there like, whee.
No, you don't want to do that.
He's had some health issues too, every now and again, but he's still out there skateboarding and stuff. And good dude.
He's a good dude. He was a good artist. I think it's worked for me at Caliber back in the day too.
Yeah.
Also, I have a Savage Sword of Conan short story coming up.
From Titan?
From Titan, yeah.
Excellent.
It's a Belit short story.
Okay, great.
Goran Zazuka on art.
Yeah.
He did Walk Through Hell with Garth for us at Aftershock. Did Outlaw Nation, other stuff. And so that's coming out sometime in the near future, I guess. I've already mentioned the Bad Idea projects, short stories. I'm doing a short story for Hello Darkness for Boom with Steven Subic.
Yeah, your guess is as good as mine on pronouncing that one.
Yeah. Eastern European names, I pronounce like American would.
Yes.
But then when you hear them say it, it's like, I never would have gotten that. You know? So, I went to Croatia a while back, and I was hanging out with Esad Rebic over there, and my friends.
Is that how you say his name?
Yeah.
I just called him Esad Rebic. It never occurred to me it was Rebic.
It's Rebic, and
good to know.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's like who was over there I'm thinking of? There's an art back in the day that Grindel Tells in the 90s, Dark Horse. They did the Croatians did a couple of story arcs over there that went on Eisner and stuff. It was artist Edmund Vukovic was the artist who did like the Lost of Vertigo before he passed away suddenly at age 30 from a brain tumor. But anyway, so with Eddie Edmund Vukovic, his writer, I always pronounce as Darko Macon or something like that. It's like Darko Masson. I was like, never would have gotten that by looking at it. It's the little accents are on the that I can't pronounce. I'm the dumb American.
Yeah, I would not have gotten that one either. That's interesting. But Esad Rebic, I think I learned something there. I did not know that. That's fantastic.
At least I hope I'm pronouncing it right.
Hey, just go.
That's right.
Hey, Ledger Beak, glad to have you join us.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I was asked enough that I think I know how to pronounce his name now. So.
One question I was thinking about, and I can think of a million reasons why it would be amazing to do and a million reasons why it's not a good idea. But is there a chance, I mean, you clearly earlier, you've had at least some dealings with Butch Geiss's wife and such. Is there a chance that you could do an art book of Butch's stuff?
Well, I had talked to Butch before.
That would sure be a beautiful thing to see.
Yeah, I had talked to Butch, and we kind of agreed I'll probably do one for him. So yeah, I'll circle back around for. I want to give them some time.
Yes.
But I know, like, last time she reached out to me, after his passing, when she finally responded to me, she asked my permission if she could. The original art for Stay Out of the Woods. She goes, would it be okay with you if I gave some copies to his nieces and stuff? So they really were liking the book, the story, and they love the art. And would it be okay if I give them some of the originals? I was like, you don't have to ask my permission for that. It's not my art. I have high-res scans, everything. So I have what I need ever published from it. So you do what you want to with it. But if you ever want to sell any, let me know first. Because I do want to buy some. Yeah,
that's reasonable.
But yeah, so I would love to do one with Butch. I don't know the reality of what they have. Doesn't mean I can't do it.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be able to do. Obviously, we couldn't do it in his voice. Like all my art books, except for the Jeffrey Jones one, were always done in the voice of the creator. They wrote the text themselves.
Yeah.
That's one of my trademarks. But it doesn't mean I can't do one with Butch. I just get somebody else to do it, like I did for Jeffrey. But yeah, I'd love to do a Butch one. I mean, I'd love to do a Bill Sienkiewicz one. I don't think he's had one. I've talked to Bill over years. It just never happened. At one point, I was going to do one with Paul Gulacy. I never did that. I know Kevin Nolan. At one point, I was going to do with him. This is Desperado Publishing, 10, 15 years ago.
He's putting out books on Kickstarter now.
Is he? Okay.
Yeah.
So again, I haven't talked to him in the 12 years. So, but there's other people I want to do too.
They're making a documentary about Bill Sienkiewicz.
Oh, great! Yeah,
he's really fascinating.
One of my all-time favorite artists is when I was a kid, I would mimic him when he first was doing Moon Knight. And I remember me and my brothers, we would, in junior high, I guess it was, we would have our own little publishing company and would have little editorial meetings with me and my twin brother and my younger brother. And okay, this is the books we're putting out this month. This is the art team. Jim's drawing this one. John's drawing that one. And okay, break. Go do your work. And then we'll sell them to my mom for like a quarter. We'll shape them together.
That is the best. Does she still have any of those?
Oh yeah, she's got them. And I would like I would mimic panels from Sienkiewicz Moon Knight. I would always want to do Moon Knight. It was my favorite comic at the time.
Yeah.
And, so I'll go through it. Oh, I can draw this panel. Mimic it and stuff. So wow, it was fun. I came across. We also did like little characters. We'd do like little paper characters that everyone. We had like a template of a character, like a action figure, and we'd draw all the characters. And I had like a big old lunch box, and I found them the other day at my mom's house. And I was like, wow, these things are falling apart, and it's hilarious to look at today.
That's kind of awesome, though. I love it. No, that's amazing. Bill Sienkiewicz is one of those guys. I met him 2006, 2005, somewhere in there, at Wizard World Chicago. He was just sitting there in Artist Alley by himself at a table. And I'm walking past, and I'm like, that's freaking Bill Sienkiewicz. Mm-hmm. Right? And I'm like, oh my God. So I went over there and I talked to him, and he ended up drawing something while he was talking to me. And I had asked him to draw something for the store. So it's up on the wall at the store today. It's still there.
Okay.
Load these 20 years later. And he never lifted the pen off the page. And he's just looking up at me. And he drew this Hulk saying, like, you better go to Haven Comics. Something like that. And I was like, oh my God. Never took the pen off the page, and he never even looked at the paper while he was drawing it. It was incredible.
Yeah, I have a couple old sketchbooks. I used to cons when I was like Bob's assistant in the early days of Caliber, and to get all these artists to draw for me. Here's one. Oh, here's Mobius. He drew for me over lunch.
Oh, Mobius! Oh my God!
I had breakfast with Mobius when I was doing Mobius comics at Caliber in London, and he drew this at breakfast for me. So that was kind of fun, nice and fun. But I have a lot of cool ones in here. Let me see if I can find a couple more that I think was Sienkiewicz here somewhere.
I miss the days when people used to carry like notepads and things to Comic Cons and get artists to do stuff, or in my case, get writers to do.
You
stuff.
mentioned Charles Vest earlier. I got Charles to do me a vest. He goes, "What do you want, Joe?" I don't know, something cool. Yo, I'll say, yo, an iceberg, something cool.
That would be just enough to make me mad, but I would still appreciate it to begin, in the end.
Right.
Well, next time.
Frank Cho, before he came to comics, he was doing Liberty Meadows. First time I met him in Chicago.
Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, that's great.
That's before he broke into comics, really.
That's beautiful. I tell you,
I'm listening.
I got some stuff. As a matter of fact, and when we had Paul Jenkins on the show, I told him I was pretty sure that I own the single largest private collection of Paul Jenkins artwork.
Why would you want it?
Well, the funny thing was how I got him to do anything in the first place. It was at a con in Atlanta. I had just gone up, and one of the things I had decided I liked to do at shows was to get writers to draw stuff. And I had gone up and I had gotten Mark Waid to draw something, and Mark Waid was like, "I'm not an artist." And I was like, "Well, I know that, but you're Mark Waid. I would love to have you draw something." So he drew this profile picture of Batman. It looked very much like an Adam West Batman, right? And then at the bottom, he put this huge asterisk and said, "Not an artist."
Yeah.
Right. And so I went to Paul Jenkins and I was like, "Could you draw me something?" And he's like, "I'm not an artist. I don't draw things." And I said, "Well, neither is Paul Jenkins, or neither is Mark Waid, but I'm pretty sure you could destroy Mark Waid." And he was like, oh, let me see this. So he takes it and he looks at it. He's like, "Okay." So he said, "I'm going to draw something." So he draws this little thing. It was like a self-portrait in South Park style.
Oh, that's great.
And then the next time I saw him, I got him. I said, "You drew something for me last time. We draw something again." He's like, "Yeah, sure." So I said, what do you want? And I said, I don't know, Spider-Man. So he draws the exact same little self-portrait, and except his eyes are like cutting to the side, right? And you see over here on this side a little web coming in, and on this side a little web going out, and you have a whoosh in between. And he's like, look, it's Spider-Man.
Good old Paul.
Yeah, it was great.
Oh, that is cool.
Oh, wow.
Oh, if you want to see a good Brian Baldwin, hold on a second. Let's see if we can see it here. He did a portrait of my wife for her birthday one year. Can we get it because of the stupid thing I have on?
Yeah, it is not wanting to focus on.
No, it's just not, does it? Wow. Okay, anyway, it's a picture of my wife he did for her birthday one year.
There it is. There she is.
There now.
So,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's phenomenal.
Yeah, I'll keep that one, I think, for a while.
Yeah, that's a good way to keep like all your digits. Otherwise, she might maim you.
Right.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. Well, man, thank you so much for coming on the show and talking with us. We are super excited for Viking Moon.
Thank you for being excited about it.
We are going to order. Like I said, folks, we will have more copies available. If you somehow or other don't get the memo and you didn't sign up for the book, we will have copies on the wall. But those are first come, first serve. If you subscribe, it shows up in your box and you don't have to worry about it selling out. So I strongly recommend that you subscribe to it. It's going to be such a beautiful book.
Maybe what I can do is, if you want to try to plan it, is like maybe for issue 2.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll come do a store signing for you, and then anybody who bought number 1 or 2 comes in, and I'll sign up for them.
That'd be great. That'd be great. Let's do that.
So I think it'll be out October, the Wednesday before Halloween. Right. So I think it's like the 3rd week of October. Is that right? Well, I guess I can look at my calendar.
But also, while he's looking at that, if you guys, if you don't like Joe Jusko art, you need to go get your eyes checked because Joe Jusko is amazing. So
he's a good guy too.
Yeah. Jump over to Kickstarter. Alan shared the link earlier. It's right here. You can find it in the chat. Jump over to Kickstarter and back this book. Again, we are also going to back this at that retailer level. So we will have a couple of copies. We'll have a copy because one of those is coming home with me. But you guys support this. Like we always say, if you like to keep reading great comics and enjoying great comics, you have to support the people who make them. They have to be able to eat. They have to be able to send their kids to school. They have to be able to take care of their house, their car. Support creators who make great stuff, especially when they're good people.
Yeah.
If
you don't buy this comic, my kids will go hungry. I'm just kidding.
You don't want to be responsible for that.
October 22nd.
$4 a day. You can $4 a month. You can.
That's right.
You can feed Joe Jusko's kids, and you can feed Joe Pruett's kids. But no, it's jump on board, sign up, guys. It's going to be amazing. Both of these books.
Thank you, sir, gentlemen, and Josh.
I don't see any gentlemen.
Yeah, really.
We're short on those.
Confused me a little bit.
All right, my friend. So it's been great hanging out with you again. And
always good to see you.
Hope to see you soon.
Yeah, looking forward to it. I cannot wait. You sent me the PDF. I'm going to be reading that tonight as soon as we hang up.
Let me know what you think.
Yes, sir, I will.
All right, my friends.
All right, thank you. You have a great night.
Cheers.
See ya.
God, I'm so excited for that book.
Take care.
Have a good one, sir. That's exactly the kind of stuff I like, man. You get a great concept. You know, it's not like, earth-shattering complexity from a plot perspective. It doesn't need to be. I don't want that. Sometimes I want that, but mostly I don't. It's a great concept. We've read Joe Pruett's stuff for years. It's going to be solid, and the art looks stunning.
Yeah, and I mean it's like you said. Not only is it a great concept, it's a very simple concept, and it's one that I'm surprised that we really and truly haven't seen before.
I was racking my brain the same thing. Like, how has nobody done this? This seems like such a natural thing.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen stuff before, like
that right there. I want that page so bad.
Like other cultures, dealing with it, but we've never seen like Vikings dealing with werewolves.
Yeah.
Or at least not to my knowledge. So I mean, I want a copy of it. I want the entire. It's only 5 issues. So I mean, it's not like you're going to invest, years of your life. You're literally going to invest 5 issues, and you've got the story. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. I can't wait to get my hands on it.
I mean, the first thing when I saw that first picture with the ship, and I'm like, dude, I want to own that page of art. I want that framed and on the wall. But then I get to this one, and I'm like, I want to own that page of art. I mean, look at that. Look at the detail.
I like the picture with the ship just because of the way they drew the lightning.
Oh, well, yeah. And I do wonder how that will come through, like if it's just a page of art, black and white.
Yeah.
Because that looks like that was a coloring effect.
Yeah.
So I do wonder if there's any indication of the lightning on the original line art, or if that was strictly done in colors.
I'll definitely be inspecting that page now.
Yeah, it's tough to tell, but that's a beautiful page, and this is just the detail on that. And I bet in black and white that page is stunning.
Oh yeah, it is.
Just incredible. I love this stuff. I love the concept. I love everything about it. I really do. And Joe Jusko, I mean, you had those cards when you were a kid, right? When you were a teenager. Oh, yeah. We all had those cards. They're amazing cards. They're beautiful cards. I've got them on a shelf somewhere around here. I'm now feeling nostalgic and wanting to pull those out and look at them again.
So, and just to kind of remind everybody, this is Viking Moon. That's what Josh was just showing.
Yep.
And then the Book of Jusko is this one right here, and that is currently on Kickstarter, so you can still back that book right now.
Yep. It is already funded, so you don't have to worry about it not making fun. It funded in 7.5 hours.
Yeah, and then you know what? I had looked at this a minute ago. And then since we're done with him a little bit early, I kind of need to jump off.
Well, he stayed on a lot longer than he was planning to. He said he needed to go by 9 o'clock, and he's on Eastern time, so he was on another 20 minutes longer than he was expecting to be, or I'm sure that his wife wanted him to be.
But now I'm about to throw a disclaimer right quick. I have no idea what all's on this, and we're just going to wing it and see what happens. But I do want us to at least be able to take a look at this together.
Now I'm nervous.
This is actually on their Kickstarter page, and they do.
So like the first, I'd say 10 years of my career, because I had never had a painting lesson. I'm self-taught. I taught myself by seeing how other people did stuff. And I love art instruction books. I love collections of people's work.
Oh, look at that.
It is awesome right there.
I like looking at art. I love looking at stuff that I don't do, that I can't do, that inspires me. So I think that's the reason my addiction for the art books and stuff like that. I'm always trying to learn and add a little bit more to what I know. And I just appreciate other people's work.
It's one of them. That man.
I like the stuff that's a little bit more organic and reality based. So I'm a frustrated wildlife artist, so the Tarzan covers were like right in my wheelhouse.
Oh yeah,
I got to paint lions and elephants and
look at that
stuff. So it's hard to come across all of the stuff I've done because I've done so much and I've branched out to so many different genres and small companies. And it's the perfect place to get everything sort of combined in one area. The first book that we did back in 2008 covered just about everything I did for the first almost 30 years of my career. This one covers everything from 2008 to now. There are a lot of retail exclusives that people have never seen. There are a lot of really short run, short press things that were in individual books here and there. It's the perfect place if you're a fan of my stuff. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff in here that you've never seen, simply because I don't do one thing, and I try to diversify as much as possible.
and that is, like I said, you can still back that if you want to. It's on Kickstarter now. And
I recommend it. I'm going to be backing it at the store level.
All right. Well, if we end it now, I can actually save my wife a trip and I can go pick the bug up.
All right. Before we do that, one comic you've read and why you are excited about it or why you hated it.
I'm going to do
in the past week.
I'm actually going to do 2 comics right quick.
Okay.
Werewolf by Night #1. Beautiful cover. If you're looking for covers, absolutely stunning art. Story, sorry, that's a hard pass. Story did nothing for me. And then I did have to pick this one up. I think I might have snatched the only one. And I don't normally go for these covers, but I did have to get it. Captain America issue #2. I had to snatch it. You can already see the rift forming. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how this is going to go between, especially the way this ended. Have you read it yet?
Not yet.
Oh, then I'm not going to spoil the ending because the ending I was not expecting at all. This one was a little more emotional than what I thought it was going to be.
I told you.
It was a really good issue.
I told you that was going to hit. That issue of Moon Knight hits hard. I'm
not sure how I'm liking this version of Mindbender. I need to give him a few more issues.
I'm in the same boat. I prefer old school Mindbender myself.
Now, I do like the fact that we literally had the entire ninja team like all over the place just wreaking havoc in the background. Not as good as the first issue, but still very solid.
Agreed.
Especially with the ending. And then I've been saying it. I've been saying it for almost a year now, and I'm not going to back off of it. This is not the main title, but this is Flash Gordon Quarterly #4. The Flash Gordon stuff has just been hitting on all cylinders. And then, honestly, my favorite read out of this entire stack, and I'm still kind of blown away just because who it's presented by, and that's Illuminati issue #2.
Mm-hmm.
This has been like, this is what AWA is supposed to be in my mind.
Yep.
This has been great.
100% agree.
Literally what all I've done. By next week, I think I can be completely caught up though.
Well, I got my stack that was like 3 times this big down to just this now. So that's manageable. So I'm good. And I'm going to say, if you have not read this yet, I think it came out this week, but if you have not read this yet,
that's this week.
My goodness, this is brutal. You think what happened to Batman in the last issue was brutal? That was nothing. That was absolutely nothing. This is brutal. This is also the origin of Bane.
Nice.
And the Joker shows up in here as the creator of said origin of Bane. Like the real, like the secondary origin of Bane, where he kicks off and becomes Bane.
Yeah. Now, didn't we see, like, isn't Joker like this uber rich guy?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Joker's terrifying. Bane is horrifying. Oh my goodness. And then what's going on here? There's some name drops that happen in this issue that you're like, wait a minute. What now? Guess who gets mentioned in this book?
Who's that?
KG Beast.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Now, I'll tell you one thing that I liked about issue 10 was how Bane was pretty much, hey, keep trying. Keep trying.
Oh, and that continues here. Only when I say it's more brutal than that issue, I'm not joking. Now, we got shorted almost every single copy of this book. So I'm super ticked about that. So we're waiting for our replacement copies to come in. And this is a variant cover, but it's Detective number 1100. Right?
Yep.
And so you're wondering, what kind of stories are you going to get in here? Because it's multiple stories. They've got 4 or 5 stories in it, right? The first story by Tom Taylor is a silent issue.
Okay.
And It is 100% not the kind of story that you would think. This reads more like a Superman story, only it's Batman, and that makes it super special. There's a kid, and it takes a second before you realize what's going on. But there's a kid who has posted a picture on a telephone pole, and it's his lost dog. And there's some bullies who are just kind of beating the kid up, and they stole his dog. And you learn that this is a silent issue pretty quick because the kid is deaf.
Okay. Oh, cool.
And so he draws a Batman symbol in the middle of the road, nearly gets hit by a truck. And Batman shows up and is like, okay, what's going on? And says, shows him the picture. The kid communicates to him. And I don't think it's spoiling anything, but Batman goes and he gets his dog. And it's just a beautiful little issue. I will say there's a fun appearance by the Bat Hound. You don't see him a lot.
No, you really don't.
But it's a fun appearance. And the fact that this is a silent issue means there's no word balloons.
Hold that up again.
What?
That
Which
picture
part?
of Batman and the Bat Hound. That's some good looking art.
I was about to say, it shows off the art, which is gorgeous. Speaking of art, I have to jump back to Absolute Batman real quick. Guess who did the art on this issue?
Who's that?
Clay Mann.
Really?
Clay Mann does a style that's a little bit looser to be more aligned with Nick Dragotta's art. But he's got a 2-page spread here that opens this book. And I'm not going to show it on the screen. Let's just say it's on a beach in Brazil.
Did they meet on the beach?
Might as well be. A beach in Brazil specifically. But Clay Mann's art is just gorgeous. This story is super hard hitting and oh my God. I mean, you can see what's going to happen next once you get to the end. But the whole time you're watching like this, like, I don't like this. This makes me uncomfortable. I don't want this. But that's what's happening. So yeah, this is a no holds barred assault on Batman for sure.
Yeah, I'll run up there and see Tom tomorrow.
But yeah, so just a couple of things real quick to talk about. I have gotten my list down quite a bit, but I got a long ways to go yet.
Yeah, I am hoping to be caught up by next week.
That is also my hope. So I feel terrible that I got so far behind.
I'm also hitting my, and this is an old comment for the old collectors. I don't think you new ones really know what this means. I'm also hitting close to my 5th week blues.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I should be. So I should be able to catch up.
Yep. Those 5th weeks come in handy for that sometimes.
Yeah, they really do. I mean, you hate to see them coming, but in some situations, you're like, oh, thank God.
Yep. That is a true statement. That is a true statement. All right. Save your wife a trip. You get out of here. Guys, we will catch y'all next time. Looking forward to it. It was awesome to have Joe Pruett on the show tonight. And in all seriousness, if the concept of werewolves and Vikings and like the Viking version of Roanoke sounds really cool to you, it's real easy to get that book. Just let us know you want it. If you're not local to Huntsville, let your local comic shop know that they need to order that for you. It's difficult to know what to order these days with all the different publishers, and we don't get a print catalog anymore like we used to. So if you've noticed the sign-up sheet, some months it has image books on it. Sometimes it doesn't. That's because we don't get sign-up sheets for those. It's just really difficult. We don't get any kind of solicitation materials. So that really makes us ordering books for us very challenging. And to make sure you get what you want, we're relying on you guys now to know more of what you want coming in because we just don't have the stuff to show you what's available, which makes it harder for everybody. So when we do have something that you want, let us know as early as possible so we can make sure we get it for you. Anything else you want to close out on there, Alan?
No, I am good. Like I said, I'm hoping to get caught up over the weekend. Y'all have fun this weekend. Be careful. Don't forget to come back and see us. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff.
Indeed. And we will catch you guys next time. Thank you all so much.